I think most men will agree with me when I say it's really good to hear once in a while, hey, you're doing a really good job, really proud of you, well done, keep at it, you should be proud of yourself, all that good stuff. And that's really, really good to hear. But in all honesty, those are the things that we should be able to tell ourselves. Those are the things that we should be able to tell ourselves when we are looking ourselves in the mirror. Those are the things that we should truly have enough emotional stability, enough strength and inner strength as a man to be able to tell ourselves those things and to believe it. I can say this because it has taken me a while to fully realize that I was actually truly proud of how far I've come these last few years. I'm still not out of the woods though. Still learning about myself, still growing. I'm still in the trenches. Every day is a challenge. Every day is a new opportunity to grow and to learn and to be better. And I believe that's what we're presented with. We are not presented with situations that are designed to destroy us. We are presented with situations that are designed to teach us. We're presented with opportunities for us to grow, for us to make decisions, and for us to gain this life experience, for us to gain this maturity so we can grow on it, so we can become the fathers, the leaders of tomorrow. But in today's society, it's really hard to do that because today it's almost demonized to be a strong man. It is almost frowned upon. Today we're living in a time where it almost seems like there's an attack on men. And I'm not talking about bullies. I'm not talking about tyrants. I'm talking about hardworking guys, good values, good morals that just want to go to work. They want to build a career. They want to build their little empire or their big empire, and they want to raise their family. They want to have some kids. They want a good, healthy relationship. The American dream, whatever you want to call it. That's how we are designed. That's if you read scripture, that's how it was designed to be. And today, it just seems like no matter what, everywhere you look, there's another obstacle. There's another challenge. There doesn't ever seem to really be any light at the end of the tunnel. It is a difficult time. It is a really difficult time to be a man. And you give so much of yourself. You give so much of your resources. You get yourself into possibly a bad relationship. You get yourself into a bad situation, and you start just investing into that situation. Let's just take a relationship, for instance. You end up in a bad relationship, and you're trying so hard. You're putting your all in, and there's really nothing left. You give up everything that used to be you. You give up all your hobbies. You invest all your finances. You invest 100% of you because you care. You give a shit about your relationship. You give a shit about your situation. But you get hit with the same thing. It's not enough. It's not good enough. Why didn't you do more? Why didn't you do this differently? And you get beat, and you get beat, and you get beat, and then you just turn into this really, really kind of broken down version of yourself. But that's because we allow it to happen. That's because of this culture, this new mentality that we're forced to live in. And we get a little bit lost. As men, we get lost. We lose our way. We're not the savages out in the forest hunting the woolly mammoth anymore. Those days are long gone. Now we're living in this society where, again, I'll say it again, when you're trying to be that leader, when you're trying to be that strong man, there's going to be someone or something or there's going to be some force that says, no, you're doing that wrong, or no, it shouldn't be that way, or you know what, no, that's sexist, or that's this, that's that, and the other. And you get so beaten down to the point where you end up kind of like where I was about almost 2 years ago. You're driving home, and for a lot of men, for a lot of us, the only peace we have is our commute. When we're commuting to and from work or to and from whatever our responsibility is, whether your commute's 15 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour, whatever, that commute, that drive is pretty much your only time you have where you have peace and you have time to yourself, and that's if you're not getting phone calls telling you did something wrong before you left the house, or before you did this, or why didn't you do that yesterday. I get it. It's a lot. It's a lot. And I will share that with you. There was times when on my commute, I got to a point where I was searching, YouTube for videos. I was looking for anything I could find that was going to give me just that little extra boost, make me feel better, because I was just in such a emotionally drained place. I allowed my situations to take over and control my emotions and control my thoughts, which is really dangerous. And I would find these random videos, and I would play them, 10, 20-minute videos, whatever, and they would be motivational videos. They would be videos on how to improve yourself, or they would be just comedy videos, or just anything for a laugh, anything for temporary relief until you got to your next stop and you had to jump right back into the grind. And I remember this one exact moment, when I was actually on my way home, and I was driving down this particular road, and a thought came over me, and I was at the point where I was fed up, and I was ready to make a change. Because you get to that point, but you just don't know how. You don't know how to pull that trigger, and you're so exhausted that you just don't know where to begin. So I started searching for videos that applied to my particular situation at the time, and I found a couple of them. And watching those videos on my commutes every day, instead of watching whatever sports videos or whatever the latest video that was going viral, whatever useless crap was on social media, I started watching videos to help better improve myself. And that was the start for me. That's where I really began to move forward and to try to come up with a plan for building myself. And I couldn't really come up with a plan because I didn't even know what that meant. I didn't even know what direction I wanted to take, but I knew I had to do something to get myself out of the mental state and the situation that I was in. And I knew that nobody was going to get me out of that situation except for myself. And that is kind of one of my hopes, one of my goals, is to create some content, for the me 2 years ago who was driving home with that anxiety and that feeling of hopelessness and that feeling of nowhere to turn. Some people have darker thoughts than that, and I'm not even going to get into that, but it's understandable. And I want to be that video. I want to put out that content. I want to reach out. I want that guy that's driving home right now or driving to his next stop to find one of these videos and find that this video lights the fuse to it's the fire that lights his fuse to take off and to make himself better. That is really my ultimate goal. And it's to bring people together, bring like-minded men, like-minded individuals together, because there's a lot more of us out there than you would think. And I know this because through my experiences and through these last couple of years, actually these last couple of months that I've been going through this and actually getting myself to a much better point, I've been finding out that there's a lot of my friends, a lot of coworkers, a lot of acquaintances, a lot of people that I deal with on a daily basis, just hearing their stories, they're all going through a similar situation, whether it's relationship, whether it's work, it doesn't matter. They're all going through a situation, and it's a pandemic with men right now where men are lost. Men are very lost right now, and they feel like they're alone. And I will share with you one of those situations, one of those stories that I just shared with a friend about 2 weeks ago. Out at an event, a buddy of mine came up to me, and we were having a conversation, and he was telling me about his situation with his significant other and how she had just broken up with him, and it turns out she was seeing another dude, and he just looked so deflated and so defeated, and he had given her his all. He had proposed to her. He's truly a good dude and just wants a family, and was giving this girl everything to make her happy, and it bit him. And as he was finishing up his tale, his story, he then said something that really has just stuck with me. And he finished off his story with, "You know what though, man? But whatever, man. Nobody gives a shit. No one cares about me. No one gives a shit about me. I'm just." And I looked at him and I told him, like, "No, dude, that's not true. Honestly, I give a shit about you. This guy gives a shit about you. There's so many people that are going through exactly what you are going through that give a shit about you, because we're all going through it just separately, but we're all going through it. And I also want you to understand that as I start putting out this content, these videos are meant to be, they're meant to be raw. They're not meant to be flashy. I don't want it to be a formal thing. I don't want it to be this big, flashy video. I just want to be that big brother, that father figure, the best friend, however you want to view it, who's lending an empathetic ear to you, letting you know, hey man, you know what? You are not alone, and you can do this. You know, you are capable of doing this. You just got to find it within yourself. And I want to help you find that within yourself. You know, if you want to really look at it, it's like we're a couple of buddies sitting around a campfire, just sharing a beer, sharing a whiskey, or sharing a water, you know, if that's not your thing. And we're having a conversation, and we're feeding off one another, and we're giving each other support. And that's all that really is. And there's nothing wrong with that. But in the end, you have to be strong enough to be able to stand on your own 2 feet. Because the bottom line is, you cannot be strong for your family. You cannot be strong if you own a business. If you're going to own a business, you cannot be strong for your workforce. You cannot be a leader if you can't be strong for yourself. The things that I'm going to be saying are the things that I would say to myself as a mentor. If I could mentor myself from a year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, myself 20, 30 years ago, whatever the time frame is, if I could go back and give myself some advice and say, this is how you need to be. This is the direction that you should probably take. Now, would I change my past? No, not at all. No matter how many bad things I've been through, no matter what I've seen, no matter what negatives have been in my life, I would not change a thing, because every one of those experiences have put me exactly where I am today. It's given me the knowledge of what I have, the emotional strength, the emotional knowledge, the experience. It has given me the tools to be able to learn to start managing my emotions and become the best version of myself that I can possibly be. Now, I will say this. I am by no means an Andrew Tate. I am by no means a Joe Rogan, David Goggins, Jordan Peterson, or any other of these men that you will find putting out content. Now, nothing against them. I've heard them, and I've heard their stuff, and I think they're great. And I agree with a lot of what they have to say. I may not agree with everything they say, but they are really, really great to listen to. You know, they will fire you up. But here's the thing with those individuals, you know, with those names that I have mentioned, they are speaking to you from a position of success. They are speaking to you from an elevated position of status, you know, because they are there. They have made it there. They have broken past that barrier, and they have far exceeded it, and now they are where they're at, millions of dollars, millions of viewers, millions of views, all this status, and it seems like we could never get, because it's unreachable. It seems unreachable. Put it to you like this: let's say you were severely overweight, you were out of shape, and then you have this gym jock that comes and he's just full six-pack, super athlete, and he wants you to go work out with him, and he's going to get you into shape. And he starts off by saying, all right, man, we're going to do 1,000 push-ups, and we're going to run 10 miles to start, just for a warm-up. You're going to feel overwhelmed. You're going to feel defeated before you even began. And that's what I feel I can bring. That's the value that I feel I can bring to this. I'm not that guy. I'm not speaking from a position of high status. I'm at your level. I'm still in the struggle. I'm still learning myself. I'm going to learn as much from this content that I'm going to learn just as much from you as you learn from me. And I am really looking forward to that. You know, and again, I'm not discrediting any of those names that I have just mentioned. But if I had to relate it to something, it would be like troops in battle. You know, they are the generals. They are the 4-star generals that are up there giving the orders from high up above because they've worked their way through the ranks. I'm not that 4-star general. I am the guy who has been on the battlefield for about a year already. I'm still there in the trenches. I'm still fighting the war with you, but I've been there for a year. I know the tricks. I know how to stay alive. I know how the battle's being fought, and I know how to survive and how to be better. And you just got into country. You're the new guy that just showed up to the battlefield. I can help coach you. I can guide you. I can keep you safe. I can give you some direction possibly. I can teach you how to be your best troop on your own, but I will be there with you in the battle. That's the value that I can bring to this. These videos will also be a collection of my personal experiences. I'm going to share my personal experiences with you. I will be sharing some of the experiences of some of my friends, colleagues, associates, buddies, whatever, people that I know. I'm going to be sharing experiences that they've shared with me, just to give this some additional content, just to give it a little bit more substance. But understand, it's going to be from behind the curtain. All identities, myself included, all identities are going to be kept confidential. It's going to be done from behind the curtain. And I'm doing this for two reasons. Reason number one is it doesn't matter who I am. It doesn't matter who these people are. Especially me, it doesn't matter who I am. I'm not doing this for glory. I'm not doing this for praise. I'm not doing this for any kind of self-validation. I'm doing this because I am hoping to reach out to somebody, multiple somebodies. If I can reach out to that one individual who is just at the end of his rope or has nowhere to turn, and if I can be that one spark that fires him up, that makes him want to start driving towards a better version of himself, then it's worth it for me. And the second reason is to keep the dignity intact, the privacy of myself and these individuals, to keep our privacy intact, because our experiences are what carry the value, not our identity. Our identity means nothing, but those experiences that we're going to be sharing, those are the things that you will be able to relate to. Those are the things that you're going to be able to hear, and you're going to be like, yeah, that's me, or that's similar to what, or whatever. You're going to be able to jump on possibly the comments and be like, hey man, that's me, and this is what I'm battling and struggling with, and we'll do everything we can to address comments if there are any. Whatever we can do to help you pull yourself out of whatever rut or whatever difficult situation you're in. That's what this is about, and get you and us and everybody else that's involved here to the point where we can stand on our own 2 feet, and we're strong and we're confident, and it doesn't matter what life throws at us. It doesn't matter what anybody throws at us. We can take it, we can look at it, we can react to it, not react to it, we can respond to it. We don't want to react, we want to respond to situations, and we can learn from them and move on and be the best versions of ourselves that we can possibly be. So I'll leave you with this. Don't be a victim. No matter what has happened to you, you are only a victim if you adopt the label of victim. Bad things are always going to happen. Bad things are always going to happen to you. That's life. If you get hit and you get knocked down and you stay down and cry about it for years after, then you're a victim. But strength is when you get knocked down, get back up, and you respond accordingly. Fatigue is not beaten. It's okay to slow down and catch your breath, but it is not okay to quit.